can see Brenda does full-on bleach, but she does oil bleach, which is safe for on the scalp. Bleaches are 3 components. They are the oil bleach, the developer, usually 20 volume. Usually it's liquid developer, but we have cream, and the ammonia packet, powder ammonia. This is called the booster or the activator. This really is what makes the oil bleach kick in and be more effective. So I'm going to section her. And you can see her regrowth. And with bleach, the reason why it's so tricky is because if you overlap, you get breakage. You know, we're taking her, you can see, what level is her natural color, you think?
2, 3.
Yeah, she's pretty dark naturally. She's a level 2. That's a strong pigment that I have to strip away. You could also see, look down, Brenda. Can you see that there's a warm, you know, she's got her regrowth, and then she's got real light hair on the ends, but then there's a little gold right in here. What I have to do to fix that, if I want to fix that, and I do, is first I'm going to give her a retouch on the darkest part, on her level 2, and give it a head start. As soon as the level 2 matches that gold band, then I'm going to put it through the gold band. You really shouldn't overlap, but in this case I have to overlap if I want to fix it. But I'll overlap for less time, not the maximum time. If I want her hair to come out even, either I have to work extra fast. Once I mix it, it's going to start weakening, losing strength. So once I mix, either I work really fast to get it on there, or I mix a little bit at a time. That way every time I mix, it's fresh. So if I mix half of the formula, this manufacturer says I should mix 2 ounces of oil bleach. It's always double peroxide, so 4 ounces of developer and a packet. That's the application. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix half of that first. That way I'll work as quickly as I can, but if I don't work quick enough, then I'll mix a fresh mixture. And so if let's say I do half of the head with the first mixture, and then I mix and I do the other half, it's going to come out even. Yes.
Does she always use the sheer delights, or does she use something different?
You've experimented with many things, no?
Yeah.
Tell them.
Quick Blue, Blonder, Wella.
Have you used on and off the scalp bleaches on you?
Yes, the Quick Blue is on and off scalp and pretty much does everything. You don't need to, it's mixed just the same way like this one with oil and.
Which brand is that?
Quick Blue, yeah.
Oh, it is an oil bleach or the powder?
It's powder, but it's on and off the scalp, and then I just add a little kick of cuticle oil.
Mm-hmm. So oil acts as a buffer. Oil will protect your skin. You know, there's powder bleach that's off the scalp bleach. It's really strong. Your skin cannot tolerate it, usually. Have you ever gotten sores from anything?
When I used to go to the beauty salon. Yeah.
And what do you remember if they used the powder?
They use powder, but I don't know if they used on and off the scalp. You know, they never give the formula.
Yeah, they don't show you.
But yeah, I did have some sores when they used to use the 40 volume.
Okay, so that's another thing too. The manufacturer of this product says you mix with 20 volume peroxide. If I want it to be stronger, let's say I'm working on a level 2 and she wants to be platinum, she wants to be as white as I can get her, then if I want to boost this and make it stronger, I could add more powder, but not higher volume developer. So I want to follow the manufacturer's directions, you know, and keep it that way. And I've found it myself. I've tried it on a couple of clients where I've mixed 30 volume and breakage happens. What happens when you up the volume of developer is it gets stronger and it works faster, obviously, but sometimes it works too strong. The scalp can't handle it, so the client starts to itch and get bothered. You got to take it off before the color developed, before the color lifted. And so, you know, you don't get to the color that you want. Okay, so I mixed 2 ounces of developer with half of the packet. Before I add the oil bleach, I want to blend, because I've got powder and cream right here. So I want to mix those two together and try to get all the lumps out before I add the oil. And I could do this in a bottle or a bowl, either way. This is a bleach bottle. You know, you guys have a bleach bottle and you also have a tint bottle. This is the bleach bottle. It has a shorter nozzle and a fatter opening. And you can cut this too if you want to cut it to give it even a fatter opening. But this is the one that you'd want to use for the oil bleach retouch, not the little one. The little one is too skinny, and the bleach is a thicker consistency and it won't come out. But I'm going to do bowl and brush. So I mix it, make sure I get all the lumps out before I add the oil bleach. And this oil bleach has measurements here on the bottle, but I'm still going to use my bottle to measure. And you never do this, really. I'm doing this so you guys could see. You usually put it down and bring yourself down to that level, you know, eye level. That's the way you're going to get an accurate measurement. So I'm putting 1 ounce. So now it's activated. Now it's working. I better get busy. I'm going to mix it again. It's going to get a little bit thicker when you add the oil bleach, which is good. I want it thick because I want it to sit where I put it. I don't want it to run. You see how thick it got? I should have shown you before I added the oil bleach how it was runnier. But it gets thicker when you add the oil. Okay, so I'm going to get started. And when I get my product up, I don't do this. I'll do that, but do you see how I've got the oil bleach all the way up my brush? That means I'm going to get a messier application. I like to scrape some of it off where I bring it down to the tip of the brush. That way I get a little bit cleaner application. And I'm going to go ahead and just apply on the root. I don't want to overlap. Overlapping is going to cause breakage with oil bleach. And I can go ahead and outline the section. I'm outlining the front and the back.
And is it 1/8 or 1/4 separate?
It's, what do you think? Oil bleach?
1/8.
1/8, exactly. Anytime we use, and the only thing we take 1/8 subpartings for is bleach. Everything else we use, whether it's thio or sodium or tint or toner, everything else is 1/4 inch subpartings. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking my subparting and just applying it to the root. Thin sections, work as quickly as I can, and just apply to the root. And notice I'm not putting my thumb in it, I'm not spreading it out. I just want to apply it. I don't rub it in. It's going to expand by itself. So, you know, again, I want to keep stressing not to overlap. And I want to keep talking to my client and asking her, let me know how your scalp feels, you know. I want to know. Maybe she scratched her scalp in one area. And if she did, then it's going to irritate her in that area. Of course, when I'm doing this section, it's mushing the other section out through. And that's why you don't want to overlap. You want to be careful. That way when it mushes, see like this section here, I put too much product there. I'm going to wipe some of it off. Because as soon as I bring the next section up, it's going to mush it out, and I might break that section. So that's another thing, is apply a thin amount of product. And a client that gets this procedure done understands, and you have to make her understand. You know, let's say Brenda had never done this before and she's thinking of going platinum. I need to explain to her all the pros and cons of going platinum with a level 2. First of all, you know, her scalp condition. This is a strong chemical, it's going on her skin. I need to let her know that her skin might get irritated from this because I need to leave it on a long time. She might also need to know that breakage may occur. Also, her hair is going to be very dry and damaged. It's not going to feel good. It's going to take more effort, more styling to make it look good. She'll have to, you know, maybe even flat iron it. She'll have to wash it less.
Will protein treatments help?
Yes. What happened when we saw that keratin class, the Brazilian class, she's a good candidate for Brazilian or any keratin treatment. Because it's what, remember, it coats the hair, kind of laminates the hair, and her hair would benefit from that. So even though I'm at the nape, I'm still taking thin sections. Don't think, yeah, you just gotta take that whole amount and put it on, because all that hair will break. And it's very fragile under here anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it down. And when I bring it down, I'm looking at the scalp too. I wanna make sure. If I forget a spot, if I miss a spot, and I wait until to notice it or to check it, then I'm gonna waste another hour or half hour waiting for that one section to process. Brenda, how long do you leave usually the bleach on? How long does it take you to lift?
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. So, yeah, you're gonna expect that it's gonna take at least an hour for this to
Yeah.
process. Yeah, you're lifting her quite a bit.
Is it itching or anything? No.
Does it
You
start
probably
Good
used to it,
question.
huh? Yeah.
Oh, and a client that wants to be this blonde, even if it's itching,
It's
she's gonna
nothing.
tell you, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Because she knows if she tells you, you're gonna take it off. The hair has the cortex, and when we remove the color, we are thinning out that cortex the most we can. You know, we're going all the way in and removing all the pigment. That means that strand of hair now, if it was, you know, 1 centimeter in diameter, for example, now it's gonna be half a centimeter in diameter. We are taking the protein out of it, we're taking the pigment out of it, we are making it like a piece of Swiss cheese to the max.
Okay, so this is what we're taking away.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a very weak strand of hair.
And then this cuticle is now, I'm gonna make it damaged. See how tiny? And even though she's gonna tone it, and even though she's gonna try to do any type of reconstructing to it, all it's gonna do is lay here. It's never going to come in here and make this cuticle nice and big and replenished again. But you know what, that goes with the territory.
Toner is to tone an undesirable shade. Well, I don't see the shade yet because it's still processing. So I can't really decide on what I'm gonna use, but I know it's gonna be a light one. And I know if anything, I'm gonna pull some warm tones. And so I'm gonna wanna tone down the warmth. Okay, how's your scalp?
Good.
It's okay. So I'm done with the back. Before I move to the front, I'm gonna double check myself. I haven't touched the front yet, so if I put it on the front and then I'm gonna be panicking and rushing back to the back and forth to make sure, no. Let me focus on the back. Worst case scenario, if she's ready in the back before I even start applying, I can go rinse out the back and leave the front not touched, you know. So I'm gonna go back through and see if there's anything I need to touch up again. Because I'd hate to wait till the end to touch it up. And you guys can see it's starting to process.
But you know how the gold band she has? Could that also be because she uses that purple shampoo a lot?
No, the purple shampoo would have helped that gold band. The gold band is because it wasn't lifted enough last time, or last. Blondor?
Yeah.
Did you say you used tint last time?
Yeah, I colored my hair.
You did your roots with tint?
Yes.
Okay. Which time? The last couple times?
Yeah.
So tint, you know, is not going to lift her as much as the bleach would. And she used tint the last couple of retouches, and you could see that it's the last couple of retouches that were not lifted enough. So it might have been that it wasn't strong enough, the tint that she used. It didn't lift her enough. So, you know, the crown and the back is more resistant than the front.
Yeah.
So that's why I started in the back, to give it a head start. Because now when I mix fresh, it's going to be very strong. And it's going to come up quickly in the front. First of all, there's smaller sections. I can get it on faster, so the product will work on her rather than the bowl faster. And it's not as resistant. Okay. So as that's processing. Now, as soon as the roots match this little gold part, that's when I'll pull it through the gold part, or apply it through the gold. But right now, they're still processing. Can you guys all see the color? You remember when I added the oil bleach, how it got thick? Well, the reason why you dissolve the powder first is, imagine if you put powder in something thick, it's hard to dissolve it. So that's why you dissolve it first, and usually you do this with liquid developer. But we have cream here. So you dissolve the powder first, and then look at, this is how runny it is before I apply the oil cream. And it gets thick again. I like to start in the corner for a couple of reasons. First of all, that's still the crown. And so I know that that's the more resistant area. Also, if you notice, I'm flipping the hair away from her face. So I'll always start in this corner and take my subpartings this way rather than straight, because if it's straight, it's gonna flip in her face. That's not so important for a retouch, but it's important for a virgin application, because then you're gonna have the hair saturated with color, for example, or bleach, and then I'm flipping it in her face. You usually don't need to apply heat to this, because already as by itself, it's a strong enough chemical to do the job without having to add heat. And of course the body heat accelerates it. Because what happens when you add heat is you blow up the cuticle, you expand it quickly to allow the chemical to go in. Well, sometimes you expand it so much that breakage happens instead of, the hair will break before the hair will lighten. So would you razor cut Brenda's hair type or scissor cut? So what if she has too much hair and she wants it thin?
Thinning shears.
Yes, thinning shears, not razor. Around Brenda's hairline, there's a lot of breakage, so I know that I'm leaving this a little dry, but I'll apply it as soon as I'm done.
So say if the back is already ready and you're still working right now in the front, how do you use water bottle spray?
Good. I could, but I could just take her back and rinse it too, since it's the back. Take it to the shampoo bowl and rinse the back only. So as I bring it down, my eye is looking at the roots to see if I need to apply anything. So wait a second. This section. And is she ready? Let me show you. I don't think she's ready yet, but how would you know? I'll take the back of my tint brush and scrape some of the bleach off. I mean, you could already tell that it's not ready because it's more orange than here. But if I wanted to take a strand test, you just scrape some off. Okay, so when you scrape it off, you see that it's not ready yet. Yeah, it might have looked ready when it was wet, but it's not ready yet. So I'm going to just reapply there and let it continue to process. Is your scalp okay? Because you kind of orange. Yeah, see, and we panic. It's not just her. We all panic. We see that color and we're like, oh, it's ready. We better get it off. And then you got to tone it. Well, one color over two colors is going to give you two colors. So you got to make it even first before you try to tone. Keep that in mind. It's a very good little thing to remember. One color over two colors or three colors is going to give you three colors. So if I want it even, I've got to make sure that I have an even palette first, then I tone it, then it'll be even all the way through. I couldn't see so well. All I did is with my finger, I just did this with her, and she moved over. Don't be afraid to tell your client, whether it's verbally or not, just move the head if you have to move the head. Toner is depositing color. So usually when you apply a toner, it makes your color darker, not lighter. So if I leave gold in her hair, gold means she's at a level maybe 8. Her ends are a level 10, let's say. I can't add toner to the roots and make her level 8 a level 10. Only bleach can make it lighter. Toner is going to make it darker. And the other thing is, if you want to kill all that gold, if it's a level 8 gold, you have to use a level 8 toner. What's the opposite of gold on the color wheel? Or orange? The opposite of orange? Blue. So if I put a blue-based toner on the orange, it has to be a level 8 blue to be able to cancel a level 8 orange. I can't use a level 12 toner. I mean, I can, but it's not going to kill all that orange. It's not strong enough to neutralize all the orange. So it'll get rid of some of it, yes, and I might like the color, sure, but if I want to get rid of it, keep in mind that you've got to use something just as powerful.
If the hair's a level 8 and you use a 12, it won't cancel out like the orange?
All of it? No.
Is it because it doesn't have the same pigment?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Same concentration. Also, if she's got a level 8 gold and I use a level 8 blue-based toner, color over color is going to go darker. So she's not going to, it'll be darker. So keep that in mind too. If a client tells you, let's say she says, I want, like a level 5 highlights with, and she wants them ashy. So you might lift her to a 6. That way when you put the toner to give her an ashy color, color over color goes darker, then she'll look like a 5. So lift her a little lighter. That way when you put your toner, it's going to go darker. It doesn't erase your highlights, it just tones them.
Could you use an activator on powder bleach?
Well, no, the powder bleach already has the activator. It is the powder. The ammonia is there already. The only difference really between powder bleach and oil bleach is that the oil acts as a buffer, so it protects the skin, but the content is the same. There's ammonia, there's bleach, and there's developer. Powder bleach is a 2-component, oil bleach is a 3-component.
So it wouldn't really make a difference. I mean, the only difference is that it protects the skin.
Yeah, that it's safe for the skin. Let me do her hairline.
So if you use oil bleach for highlights, it wouldn't really...
Oh, so oil bleach is recommended for virgin hair. So let's say you highlights. If a client has a base color that's not their natural color, they have tint in their hair, and then they want highlights on top of the tint, then you might want to use the powder bleach because it's going to remove artificial pigment. Oil bleach can remove natural pigment. Okay, so now I'm going to go back through like I did before. Well, of course I checked the back. It's still not ready. So I'm going to go back through that first section, double check it, make sure I didn't miss anything, and just let it process. And yeah, she's going to process for about an hour. When she's ready, what I would do is take her to the shampoo bowl. And do you think I should rinse with warm water or cool water?
Cool.
Cool, right, because bleach has opened up the shaft so much, it blew it up. Now I want to bring it back. I'm done with that blowing up. I want to bring her hair back to normal. So I want to use cooler water. It'll also feel good for her scalp. And then I'm going to use mild acidic shampoo. Not an alkaline shampoo, but an acid shampoo, because acid is going to help close the cuticle. I don't want to open it and continue opening it and softening it. And then in the shampoo bowl, I'm going to mix the toner and I'm going to apply her toner. And if I apply the toner all over, I'm going to get different colors. So first, I'm going to apply the toner with my fingertips on her roots to help tone it. And then maybe I'll bring it through the shaft just to make the color even. Because her shaft's already white. I don't need to put the toner on the scalp all the way through. Most likely I'm going to have to tone just the roots. Stripped out the color from it. If I put it back, it's going to feel better. So I will put toner back. Cellophanes are good for somebody with bleached hair. A clear cellophane, because it's going to help coat her hair without changing the color. But it'll make her hair feel better. I have the towel around her neck. Sometimes the towel will absorb the color that you're putting here at the nape. So you got to go back and reapply. So I checked that section. So again, you don't want to clip it. You want the air to help oxidize the color. While she's processing, I can clean up a little bit and get ready for her toner. Your scalp is okay? And of course I want to check the back. Let's check it again. That same area. Do you think it's ready yet?
No.
No, it's still too gold. Okay, so I'm just going to let her sit there, but let me show you the tone. Wella has their toners right here, they only have 2 options. They used to have a lot more, but now their options are a T14 and T18, these 2 blue ones. And the 14 is pale ash blonde, and the 18 is lightest ash blonde. So this one you can see is grayer.
Yeah.
And she's already a bit gray on the shaft, so we don't want to use that one because she's used it before and it got too gray. So we're going to use this one. T18, lightest ash blonde. And then do you use the purple shampoo? So Brenda, on a regular basis, tell them what do you do?
I wash my hair and I mix it with Shimmer Lights, the purple shampoo, regular shampoo, because if I put it straight up on the hair, it'll turn my hair purple.
It's very strong. So it has pigment in the shampoo. It's called Shimmering Lights. A lot of people will use it that are bleached blondes or blondes that swim in the summertime. The chlorine changes the color of their hair. Or gray, somebody with gray hair that swims a lot, the chlorine changes the color of their hair, so they use that shampoo to help tone it. So I'm going to clean up, but I'm going to save some of this bleach. I'm not going to rinse out my bowl just in case I need to reapply some.
You need to reapply. Would you use that same one?
Yeah, I don't need to boost it.
Okay.
But if I wanted to boost it, I could add a little more powder, you know, the ammonia packets, and boost what I've got there. I wouldn't mix a whole new fresh batch because that would waste the product. Remember, I'm paying for this, so I don't want to waste product. Yeah, you had a question? What do you use? A toner?
On the shaft, I don't have no toner.
She just does the shampoo. That Shimmering Lights shampoo does deposit. No toner? Didn't you say you used, but how long
Well,
ago?
I did color with regular hair color.
Oh, yeah.
I used the 12A, 12 ash.
Here, I'll do a
I don't even
strand
know,
test.
like,
You see how it's still more gold
mountain
here than
bikers,
here,
like a
so it's
tea
not
with
ready,
eyes
ready.
in.
I'm gonna pull it through to lighten up the band.
So is it overlapping?
Yeah, now I'm overlapping.
Okay.
No, I am
Only on the
intentionally.
Just to get rid of that band.
Yeah. Front needs a little more time. Do you see the back?
Yeah, back looks good.
Yeah, back looks good.
And then the front a little longer.
This side is ready, but this side not yet.
Because you started here 1st.
So another 5 minutes and you'll be good for the back.
Let's put cool water.
Is it warm?
No.
Okay. And you want to do a gentle shampoo because remember the hair is fragile. So how much hair loss she has, and that's good. You know, you are going to get a little bit of
Hair loss.
hair loss. Even if she wasn't bleached, you're going to get a little bit. So that's not too much for the amount of bleach that we've done on her. It's a limited amount. It's not that bad.
So expect some hair loss, but a limited amount.
That's the
It's
tone.
T18.
1 ounce and 2 ounces of 20. I'm applying it to the most orange areas first. Is your scalp okay, Brenda?
You could already see the violet forming. So.
Ooh, look at that. The violet.
Yeah, it's a good violet toner. It has to be to get rid of yellow.
Now I'm pulling it through the shaft. Here's a strand test. How does your scalp? Is your scalp okay? Yeah.
After the rinse, use Restore Moisture Intense Protein Treatment. How long is this thing?
You know, it says just 2 to 5 minutes.
What happens if we leave it for 15?
Nothing. The manufacturer says it's going to do its thing in 2 to 5. You could leave it for an hour. It's not going to do better.
The hair has been rinsed and towel
Yeah.
dried.
Blow dry on a cooler setting.
Phenomenal. Wow. With the toner and everything.
Yeah, looks
It's
great.
so perfect.
It's like,
Okay.
yeah.